And this arch, it took 30 years to build this Arch of Triumph. And now we'll see a grave. What we say, the grave of the unknown driver. You believe me? When you see the traffic here, right here, why we say that? It's a joke. Huh? Is the unknown soldier from the World War I. But we say unknown driver because here, look, the traffic can be crazy. And I'll explain to you. When you drive, in France, you respect the right priority, not the left. We are not in England, the right priority. But do you think they do respect the priority? No. Look, you need eyes everywhere. And when you drive, you have to select one of the 12 avenues around the arch to escape this crazy traffic jam. Yes, you respect the priority, but you don't care. No problem here. The only square in Paris, if you don't care about the priority, but you have an accident with your car, with your motorbike, doesn't matter. You have not to prove you're wrong. You're right. The drivers got the same responsibility. For the insurance, it's 50-50, half and half. So each driver got the same responsibility because it's very hard to drive around this Arch of Triumph. Okay? And in France, when we learn driving, that is never in the city. It's outside of Paris. Yes. We pass a class of lessons, and you pass an exam, a license to get the license to drive, the driving license. Never in Paris. Always at 2-3 miles away from Paris. Too dangerous. Yes, really, here. After, if you're very good, you come. Yes. Alors, look. On the foot of the arch, you see the flame? Can you see it? And you have a lot of flowers around because this is a grave of the unknown soldier, this time, from the First World War. In 1914, 1918, so many men, soldiers died in France and everywhere in Europe. So in memory of all these soldiers, we had chosen a soldier, we have not his name. Why the name, the unknown soldier? We never could identify the man here, buried here. So that is why he was the symbol of all the soldiers of France who died during the World War I. And every day at 6:30, 7 p.m., we organize a military ceremony on the foot of his arch. Yes, in memory of all the soldiers who died during the war. And also in November 11, which is a day to celebrate the end of the war. When we stop the war, at 11 in the morning, we stop. So we do a ceremony, so we stop the traffic around for this ceremony. Alors look, the Arch of Triumph. Yes, that is possible to go up to the top, yes. Good legs, because you walk up 300 steps. Yes, Inside you have a museum about the history of Napoleon and the arch, and on the top a terrace roof where you enjoy the square named the Star and this avenue. Look the traffic, look the wheel. This is where we'll have to stop to give you a break for restrooms. That is the longest avenue in Paris. What is the name of this avenue? Do you know?
Same buildings surrounding the structure. What's the significance? You see, same buildings.
Same type of building.
Same types of buildings.
The buildings around, they are residential houses and private residences. That is the style in Paris in the 19th century. Yes.
This one, then opposite also, all are same.
Here, yes, all the buildings you mean? Yes, that is a style in Paris called Haussmann. Haussmann was a man who designed the architecture in Paris for a new population from the upper class living in these residences. Today, they are embassies. Most of them are embassies. This is a very exclusive area around the arch. The most expensive avenue, that is where we are. Not in France, but in the world, after New York, the 5th Avenue in New York, and after the Champs-Élysées Avenue here in Paris, the second most expensive. Champs-Élysées, that is the name of this avenue. Champs-Élysées, you repeat?
Champs-Élysées.
Very good, yes. The most beautiful avenue in the world. Look, what do you think? Oh, but we have a bus just in the front of us. Oh, we have to move a little bit on the right to avoid this bus. I want to show you the panorama. 2 kilometers long. yes, was at the origin a road built between the royal castle, where the kings of France lived, to a forest where the kings loved hunting. And to go fast, to go to the forest, they moved to the forest every day. Hunting was a royal privilege, and the king spent the free time hunting big animals, and the forest very close to Paris is Versailles. Today it takes half an hour to go to the forest. In the past it took 4 hours. Just 1 hour to be on this road in the past. So they built this road to go fast. For national parade, we organize a military parade to celebrate on National Day. That is in France in July. July the 14th. You are going to Lido? Yeah. Look on the left-hand side, you have the Lido. You have the best of the best show in Paris of the Lido. This is where the ladies dancing, singing about the love of Paris. The Lido is the most famous show in Paris. When you're in Paris, you go there. You should go there because the ladies are pretty, but the men dancing too. Yes, and they sing and they dance. They are named the Bluebell Girls. We say the most beautiful ladies of the world after me. No, it's a joke, yes. Couture, the hard fashion, yes. And in this area is called the Golden Address. Golden Address because the golden houses of international fashion houses. The symbol of the luxury in Paris. Here, the family, the oldest family living here is the family Guerlain. You see the store right here on your left? Guerlain, you know the perfume Shalimar that is here, it was made. And the family Guerlain in the past worked for the Bonaparte family to make cosmetics and perfumes for the Empress, the wife of the Emperor and all his family. And it still works here today. You have always a family still living here, always working here to make cosmetics and perfumes. They also made specific perfume for you. You can have your own perfume, exclusive, customized perfume. Absolutely. You select the fragrance you love, and you can also name your name, give your own name for the perfume. Yes, Guerlain is right here. Look, Guerlain. Guerlain in French, Guerlain, yes. Now I can't tell you how much cost the perfume, your €5. Oh yes, but you smell, it's bad. You have to add 5 more zeros. Yes, yeah. Now, I said we do our National Day, July the 14th, we organize a parade. What this day? Why the reason of this day? Because this day was the symbol of the revolution in France. The beginning of the revolution. Why the revolution? To stop, to abolish the monarchy. No king, no queen after, okay? And to stop, to abolish the privileges. Because imagine before the revolution, the Republic, now we are in the Republic, the people had no rights. The abolition of the rights means to give the same rights to everyone. The abolition of the privileges from the nobility, the kingdom, was to give the same rights to all the citizens of France. And the Revolution's Day is in July the 14th, what is called the Bastille Day. The storm of the Bastille, a prison, symbolized the beginning of the revolution, the end of the monarchy. And 4 years after this day, the King of France and the Queen, you know her, Marie Antoinette, were guillotined, were beheaded, where exactly where we stop, where is the wheel. So when the King and the Queen were guillotined, we feel it was the end of the absolute monarchy. And we feel the Republic was born. And now we are still in the Republic. So it means, in France, we vote every 5 years. We vote for a president. You know him, he was in your country this winter.
Macron.
That's right. You know, you remember his name.
Emmanuel
Visit
Macron.
is your prime minister. Yes, he was in your country for a couple of days, I think, with his wife, the famous Brigitte, or first lady. Famous why? Because when he was 15 years old in high school, he was in love for his teacher, who is today his wife. His teacher was the famous Brigitte, and he said to her, "A day I will be your husband. I can wait for you." He did for 20 years, and she divorced to be married with him, and now she's the first lady. And look, on the left, this is where live Mr. Macron and his wife. On the right, the Museum of Paris, Grand Palais, the Great Palace, where we exhibit different art, different exhibition to celebrate the beauty of France, the beauty of Europe, and also we organize our fashion week. And just at the opposite side, behind the trees, you have a big garden, and this is the house of the president, Emmanuel Macron, and his wife, the first lady. Just where you see the trees, it's a huge garden. L'Élysée. The house is called L'Élysée, the name of his avenue. The official residence of the president of the Fifth Republic. We are in the Fifth Republic. And in this republic, what we have to do, I said, we vote every 5 years. Who can vote? The French, living, working in France, born in France. Oh, you must be 18 years old and over to be able to vote. You don't live in France, but you pay your tax, you can vote. But you are not French and you pay the tax in France because you work in France, you are not allowed to vote. That is in the Constitution. Anyway, our president has not any limit. He can be a president for 1, 2, 3 times. Yes, if the people are very happy. But now the people are not so happy because a few hours ago, we had a big demonstration in Paris to protest, to say no Macron, you're not so good for the French people. And there was a big demonstration. In France, we love to demonstrate. This is our national sport, to protest all the time, yes, all the time. Alors look, the Concorde Square. The Concorde Square, this is the largest square in Paris, built in the 18th century for a king, where his statue was in the middle and destroyed after the revolution. Now you can see the obelisk from Egypt, from Luxor, the oldest monument in Paris, which was a gift from the vice king of Egypt to France in the mid of the 19th century to express the good relationship between France and Egypt. Don't worry, we have a stop here. You'll have time to take picture. We'll have a stop nearby the wheel. And it took 7 years to bring this obelisk from the Thames. You see in the middle, you have a beautiful fountains. They symbolize the rivers, the French rivers. We have a lot of rivers, and the river in Paris is called the Seine River, S-E-I-N-E. It makes loops on the Seine. When you see the map, you feel it's like a snake moving up, yeah. Okay, alors listen. Here we have a stop to give you time for the restrooms, public restrooms, are just behind the wheel. You have a gate, you see the golden gate. When you go inside, after the gate, you turn on the right and you will see the public bathrooms. But in Paris, we have not bathrooms free. You have to pay. So here is 70 cents, less than €1, 70 cents. You have a coin or not, anyway, you have a lady, she can give you the change, the good change, okay? Don't worry. It's just behind the gate on the right. You will see public toilet. So we're going to stop here, to drop you off here, but the bus is not allowed to stay. So he's moving and he's back here.
How many minutes stop we have?
6:20 minutes. 20 minutes. Good time.